Hi everyone, today I'm going to introduce you to Amazon S3, which stands for Simple Storage Service. So S3 is basically a cloud storage service from AWS. You can think of it as a super secure, highly scalable and durable place to store your files online. It's designed to store all kind of internet data and it's trusted by millions of people and companies worldwide. People use S3 for a bunch of things like backing up data, hosting static websites, and even supporting mobile or web applications. Basically, if you need a reliable place in the cloud to store your files, S3 is the best service. Now, let's see how S3 actually works. First, we have buckets. Think of a bucket like a folder or container for your files. Every bucket you create has a unique name global, and you can store an unlimited number of files or objects inside it. Then there are objects. Objects are basically the files themselves. Each object can include a file, a name, metadata, and even a version ID if you enable version. Finally, access control. S3 gives very flexible permissions. You can decide who can upload, download, or even view your files. This is super important if you are working on a project with a team or want to make a website publicly accessible. One of the great thing about S3 is the cost effectiveness. You only pay for what you use. Here's how the pricing works. Storage, you pay per GB per month. Cost depends on the storage class you choose. For example, standard is good for frequently accessed files, and frequent access is cheaper for files you don't access often. And Glacier is really cheap for archival storage and request and data retrieval. So in here, you are charged for requests like get, put, or delete. For Glacier or archival storage, there are extra fees when you retrieve files, depending how fast you want them. And data transfer, uploading data into S3 is totally free. But if you are sending data out to the internet, that has a cost. Finally, AWS gives a free tier for 12 months. 5 GB storage, 20,000 get tickets, 2,000 put tickets, and 50 GB of outbound data per month. So where can you use S3? First, personal portfolio website. So as a student, you need a good portfolio to show what are the projects that you are currently doing and previously did. Likewise, so for that, you need to host a website. So for that purpose, you can use S3. And the second one is lecture notes and assignments. So definitely you can use this S3 service for store your lecture notes and assignments. The third one is project media storage. If you have images, videos, or big project files, S3 handles them easily without worrying about your local storage limits. Here, top of the slide, you can see there's a diagram. So we can simply say it's an architectural diagram of AWS services. So if we are going to use S3 for personal portfolio website or any kind of a static website, you can use CloudFront that enables HTTPS. That means SSL certificate you can get from that, and then you can use S3 bucket to store your HTML files, HTML CSS files, and you can deploy it through the AWS. So for the demo, I'm going to use my one of the project called a restaurant menu project. So it's a static website, and it's easier to implement because it only used HTML, CSS, JavaScript files, and I can show you how to store and how to deploy it through the AWS. First, you need to go to the AWS console home. So then in the search bar, you have to search S3. Then you can see S3 scalable storage cloud. And first, you need to select create bucket. So here for the bucket name, I'm going to put my repo name, and here I just paste it, bucket name, and we can skip those things. These are optional. So now I'm going to create a bucket. Here you can see our first bucket already created. Now I'm going inside that, and I'm going to properties, scroll down. So in static website hosting, they are recommending AWS Amplify for hosting. So if we choose AWS Amplify, we can use it as a CI/CD pipeline. So that means if we change into the pod, it will automatically redeploy our project. Okay, so we need to go to edit, and here we need to enable, and here we need to give the default page. So index.html because my main page is index.html. Okay, so we can skip those things. This optional. Okay, now it is created. Right, this is our website link. Before going to that link, we need to add our source files. So here we need to upload them. I'm going to add files, index.html, script.js, styles.css. Those are the 3 files. Okay, now I'm going to upload it. Okay, successfully uploaded. And now we can check our website. Let's see what happened. So now you can see there's access issues. So to solve that, we need to go to the permissions. So first we need to edit bucket settings, untick block all public access, and we need to tick only these two. Now we can change those things and we need to confirm it. Now I'm going to add the bucket policy. So for that, here I just put public void get object, and for the principal, I'm going to include my price, and for the action, let's put S3 get object, and finally resources, as we need to copy bucket ARM and need to put like this. Okay, now we can save changes. So everything is successfully done, and now we can refresh. So here you can see our website is successfully working. And yeah, the one of the issues is this site is not a secured one. That means this is not a HTTPS site because we didn't use CloudFront. So if we use CloudFront, we can host this as a HTTPS site. You need to remember, if you don't have a good idea or a good knowledge about AWS services, better to remove your task files and project files after you finish it, because sometimes you maybe get a big bill for your AWS services. So better after completing those things, remove every file. So now I'm going to remove, first I need to empty my bucket, then only I can delete this bucket. So I hope you may got a good idea about how to use AWS S3 and how to deploy a static website using AWS. And thank you for watching. So hope to see you in next video.